Number 15A, Table 2 shows marks scored by 170 students in a digital literacy test. The table is here. Marks are ranging from 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, and so on. Then we have the frequencies running 10, 20, X, 40, Y, 25, and 15. So in such a case, whereby we have some unknowns like X and Y, then the question there, they're asking us that given that the median mark is 35, determine the value of X and Y, then determine also the standard deviation of the marks. We prepare our table as shown here. So we need to have a column of the marks and a column of the frequency, then cumulative frequency. What determines that your table should look like this? We have been given the median mark. And for us to be able to calculate the median, we need the cumulative frequency. But now we have some unknowns. So our first cumulative frequency will be 10. The second one will be 10 plus this 20. Then the third one is supposed to be 30 plus x, but now we don't know. We retain it like that. Then the next one should be 30 plus x plus 40. 30 plus 40 is 70, so we'll have 70 plus x. Then next will be 70 plus x, then plus this y. We have 70 plus xy. Then next one will be 70 plus this 25, that is 95. But we had already had x plus y, so we'll have x plus y here, 95 x plus y. Then 95 plus x plus y plus this 15. 95 and 15 are like terms, so you have 110 plus x plus y. Now, when you look at all this together, we have been told that marks scored by 170 students. So we know they are total. So when we add the cumulative frequency, the total should be 170. So 110 plus x plus y should be equals to 170. Collecting the like terms 110 and 170, 110 will cross the equal sign. So we'll have x plus y is equals to 170 minus 10. So x plus y therefore is equals to 60. That becomes like our first equation of the unknown. Then secondly, we know that the number is 170. Then we have also been told that the median mark is 35. So the median comes from the word middle. So n divided by 2, that's the total number, divided by 2, we'll be able to get 85. So the median mark is 35. So that means 35, that is where the median value lies. Well, we have already been told. So when you look at a class, the class of 30 to 40, 35 lies in there. So we already know the class where the median value lies. So what you do, you take the formula. To get the median, you take the lower class limit plus n all over 2 minus c all over f into I. Then you substitute the lower class limit. Remember, we said the class where the median value lies. And remember, these are special class. If we have 0 to 10, the same 10 here, 20, 10 to 20, the same 20 here. So in such a case, we use this lower boundary, this lower value as the lower limit. So we'll have 30. Then plus n all over 2, that is 170. The total was 170 all over 2. Then if it lies in the class of 30 to 40, that's where the median mark lies. We always subtract the frequency above. That is 30 plus x. So 170 all over 2 minus 30 plus x. Then all over the frequency of that class, which is now 40. Then times the class interval. Class interval in this class, if you have 30 to 40, remember I said 40, the same 40 starting here, 40 to 50, the same 50. You simply say 40 minus 30, which is 10. So when you open the brackets here, it will be minus 30 minus x. You can see it here. So 85 minus 30, that is 55. Then minus x all over 40. Now, because we have a 10 outside here and we have a single denominator here, we can quickly drop the 0 so that we have all over 4. So this is 30, then plus 85 minus 30 minus x all over 4. When you simplify, we'll be able, this was the median mark, is equal to that median mark. So 35, the median mark is on this side, this 30 is here, then here we have 55 minus x all over 4. We were now collecting the like terms at this particular point. Then as we turn over, you'll actually see the very thing going on here. So you'll also see that we were collecting like terms. So 35 minus 30 is equals to 55 minus x all over 4. So when you go through the process of cross multiplication, 4 by 5 is 20, so 20 is equals to 55 minus x. Then you can take x to this side, it will be positive, bring 20 to this side, so we have 55 minus 20. So now we have the value of x. But remember here, we had gotten earlier that x plus y is equals to 60. So when you put here 35, what is y? So to get y, you simply take 35 across. So the value for y will be equals to 60 minus 35, which is equals to 25. That's what I was trying to write here. So you can put your values together. Hence, x is 35 and y is 25. Then secondly, we move on to the standard deviation. So for you to be able to work out the standard deviation, you need to prepare, of course, there are several tables. You can just use this as one of the methods. You need to have max, you need to have midpoint, you need to have the column of the frequency, and I chose to have the deviation, whereby take x minus the assumed mean. So for this case, we were not given the assumed mean. I'll show you how we get it. Then product of f and d, then d squared, then f and d squared. So when you prepare your table, it will look like this. You arrange your classes again, you have your midpoints, then you have the frequency. So if you are working it all at once, you don't need to have two tables. You see, this table is almost like the other one, so you can just fix those values that we had in the other table here. So that the midpoint to say 0 plus 5, 0 plus 10 divided by 2 is 5. 10 plus 20, 30 divided by 2, 15. That is how we get the midpoints. Then the frequencies, now you have x as 35, you'll have it here. Now you have y as 25, you'll have it here. So you copy all those values. You can see 35 and 25 that we had looked for. So then to find the assumed mean, you can pick the midpoint, any value close to the middle. So you see, I picked 35. So x minus 35. So 35 becomes my assumed mean. Then to find the deviation, you take your x, like this one, 5 minus 35, which is my assumed mean. 15 minus 35. Then you do the same up to here. Then f and d, you simply take your frequency times d, the deviation. 10 times negative 30, negative 300. 20 times negative 20, 400. You do the same. Then d squared, you square the value you're having for the column for the deviation. Negative 30 squared is 900. Negative 20 squared is 400, and so on and so forth. Then last but not least, under this column, we find fd squared. You take your frequency, multiply by the square of the deviation. You can see that 10 times 900 is 9,000. 20 times 400 is 8,000. So you do the same. Then down here, you can have a column for the totals. The sum of fd squared is here. The sum of d squared and the sum of fd. Why are you doing that? Because we'll need them in the formula. So to find the standard deviation, this is a symbol. One of the ways we can find, using this table, we can take sum of fd squared, which is this one, all over sum of f, then subtract the sum of fd over sum of f. Sum of fd is this one, over the sum of f, which is here, then you square. That's what I've done down here. 46,500 divided by 170, which is sum of f. Then 150, which is sum of fd, over 170. So this one, you get the value, then you square. But this one you divide, then you find the difference between those two. So here I got 273.5294 minus 0.8824 squared. Then when I subtract, I get this. When you find the square root, that gives you the standard deviation. So that is how you work out